The November wind cut through the frontier station like a blade through canvas. Luke Hartwell stood at the platform's edge. His twins pressed against his legs, two small bodies shivering despite the blankets wrapped around them. Hope's lips had gone pale. Eli's eyes stared at nothing. Luke watched each face stepping off the afternoon train, desperate, hunting. The locomotive hissed steam into the gray sky. Passengers hurried past, eager to reach shelter before the snow came. No one met his eyes. No one ever did anymore. Then she appeared. A young woman in a modest traveling dress, dark hair tucked under a simple bonnet. Carpet bag clutched tight against her chest. She stepped onto the platform and stopped, scanning the crowd with the same desperate hope Luke recognized in his own mirror each morning. She was looking for someone who wasn't there. Luke's heart hammered. He glanced down at Hope, at Eli, their hollow eyes, their thin faces. Winter was coming, and he couldn't do this alone anymore. He moved before fear could stop him. "Ma'am," he called out. She turned, her eyes brown and wary fixed on him. Luke's throat tightened. The words came out rough, broken. "Please come with me. My twins need a mother." The platform went silent. Anna Brennan stared at the stranger before her, tall, weathered, eyes haunted by something she recognized. Grief, the kind that hollowed you out and left you walking through days like a ghost. Then she saw the children, a boy and girl, maybe 5 years old, clinging to their father's coat. Their faces were raw from cold, their eyes too old for their years. The girl reached one small hand toward Anna, then pulled it back, afraid. "Miss," the man said again, softer now. "I ain't got time for proper courting. Winter's coming fast, and I can't—" His voice cracked. "I can't keep them alive alone." A woman nearby hissed to her companion, "Shameful. Asking a stranger off the train like some— How far?" Anna heard herself ask. Luke blinked. 3 hours north by wagon. Storm'll hit tonight." Anna looked at the children again. The girl's hand crept forward once more. This time Anna took it. Small fingers, cold as river stones, wrapped around hers. "What are their names?" Anna whispered. "Hope and Eli," Luke said. "Same age as the winter that took their mama." Anna closed her eyes. She'd come west with nothing left to lose. Another failed arrangement. Another man who'd seen her mourning veil and decided he didn't want damaged goods after all. But these children, they weren't asking for perfection. They were asking to survive. She opened her eyes. "I'll see your home first. No promises beyond that." Luke exhaled like he'd been holding his breath for months. "That's more than I had 5 minutes ago." He lifted the twins into the wagon bed. Anna climbed up after them, settling the children between folds of her cloak. The station master shook his head as Luke took the reins. "Fool's errand, Hartwell," the old man muttered. "Town's already talking." Luke didn't answer. He clicked his tongue, and the horse lurched forward. Snow began to fall as they left the station behind. The wagon rolled north through pine forests that grew thicker and darker with each mile. The temperature dropped. Twilight faded fast. Anna sat in the wagon bed, the twins bundled against her. Luke drove in grim silence, his jaw set like a man facing a hanging. The only sounds were hoofbeats on frozen ground, wind through the trees, and the children's shallow breathing. Anna studied the man who'd asked the impossible of her. Worn hands gripping the reins, a wedding band still on his finger, eyes that stared straight ahead, seeing something that wasn't there anymore. She began to hum a lullaby her mother had sung, back when the world made sense. Hope leaned into her, small body relaxing. Eli turned his face away, but Anna felt his breathing slow, felt him listening despite himself. After an hour, she spoke. "What happened to their mother?" Luke's knuckles went white on the reins. For a long moment, Anna thought he wouldn't answer. "Childbirth," he finally said. "Twins came early. She was strong, But he stopped, started again. I begged her to hold on. She looked at me and said, "Promise me you'll find them someone kind." Then she closed her eyes. Anna's throat tightened. She touched his shoulder brief. "Careful." "You kept your promise." Luke nodded, jaw working. "Hope she thinks so." They rode in silence after that. The forest opened onto rolling hills, then closed in again. Snow fell harder. Anna watched the landscape grow wilder, more isolated. "Town doesn't help," she asked. "Town's 10 miles south," Luke said. "They help their own. We're—" He paused. "Complicated." Meaning they thought I should have remarried proper, through a preacher and a long courtship. Not— He gestured vaguely at her. At the wagon. At the whole desperate situation. This? Anna almost smiled. "The land doesn't care about your plans, only your backbone." Luke glanced back at her, something like surprise in his eyes. "That's the truth of it." The cabin appeared as full dark settled a small structure with gaps visible in the walls. The roof clearly unfinished. Smoke should have been rising from the chimney. There was none. Anna's stomach dropped. This wasn't charity. This was survival. Luke helped her down, then lifted the twins. "You can have the bed," he said. "I'll sleep by the hearth with the young'uns." He wouldn't meet her eyes. He expected her to leave by morning. Anna looked at the cabin, at the children, at this broken man trying to hold the pieces together. She picked up her carpet bag. "Show me inside." Luke's shoulders sagged with relief so profound it made him look 10 years older. The door creaked open. Anna stepped into the cold dark, and the weight of her decision settled over her like snow. Anna struck a match. The small flame illuminated a single room, one bed, a table with 3 chairs, a cold hearth. Wind whistled through gaps in the walls. The twins stood in the doorway, watching her like she might vanish if they blinked. She knelt at the hearth, built kindling into a careful structure, and coaxed fire to life. Light bloomed. Shadows danced across rough-hewn walls. "Better," she said, mostly to herself. She found flour in a tin, dried meat wrapped in cloth, stale bread, not much, but enough. She heated water, made a simple stew with what she had. Luke watched from the corner. Stunned into silence, hope crept closer. "Are you an angel?" Anna smiled despite the ache in her chest. "No, sweetheart. Just someone who knows what it's like to be alone." She ladled stew into bowls. They ate at the table the first hot meal the cabin had seen in weeks. Anna guessed. The twins ate like they were afraid the food might disappear. As Anna unpacked her carpet bag, a silver locket slipped free and fell open on the table. Inside the photograph of a man in uniform, young, earnest, gone. Luke saw it, said nothing. Anna picked up the locket, whispered to the image, "Forgive me, James." She tucked it away, hands shaking. "You can have the bed," Luke said again, voice rough. "No." Anna laid blankets by the hearth. "I'll sleep here." "Miss, my name is Anna, and I'm sleeping by the fire." She softened her tone. "The twins should be between us. Warmth on both sides." Luke hesitated, then nodded. "All right then." They settled for the night, Anna by the hearth, Luke on the other side, the twins nestled between, proper. "Careful." Hope's small hand crept across the blankets, searching. Anna took it, held it gently. The child sighed and slept. Luke lay awake, watching the firelight play across Anna's face. She'd closed her eyes, but tears slipped down her temples into her hair. He wanted to say something. "Thank you. I'm sorry. You're the bravest person I've ever met." But words had never come easy, and grief had made them impossible. So he just watched the fire and listened to his children breathe and felt the cabin grow a little less like a tomb. Morning came with a howl of wind that shook the walls. Luke opened the door. Snow had piled 2 feet high overnight, and more fell in thick curtains. The world had vanished into white. "Storm'll last 3 days," he said. "Maybe more." Anna stood beside him, looking out at the blizzard. "Then we'd best make the most of it." Eli's voice, small and careful. "Are you staying?" Anna turned to the boy. His eyes held the same wariness she'd seen in her own reflection for 3 years, the look of someone who'd learned not to hope. "I'm here right now," she said honestly. "That's all I can promise." "Eli." The boy nodded. It wasn't everything, but it was something. Luke closed the door against the cold. "Right now's more than we had yesterday." Outside, the storm buried the trail north. Inside, 4 people began the slow work of becoming something more than strangers trapped by snow. The blizzard raged for 3 days. Luke chopped firewood in the brief moments between squalls, shirt-soaked despite the cold. Anna started coffee before dawn, mended the twins' threadbare clothes by firelight, taught hope letters using the family Bible. Eli watched from corners, silent and testing. On the second morning, Anna woke to find rabbit-hide gloves laid beside her blankets, still warm from shaping. She looked up. Luke was already outside, axe in hand, not meeting her eyes. She put them on, they fit perfectly. That afternoon, she kneaded bread dough while Hope practiced writing her name. The girl's tongue poked out in concentration. "Like this?" Hope held up her slate. "Perfect." Anna said, "Now write your brother's name." Eli's head jerked up from where he sat by the window. "Why, because you're part of this family." Anna said simply, "And families remember each other." Something shifted in the boy's face. Not trust, not yet, but the beginning of it. The third night, Eli woke screaming. Anna jerked upright. The boy thrashed in his blankets, calling for someone who couldn't answer. "Mama, Mama, don't go!" Luke froze. His face went gray. He started to rise, then sank back down, paralyzed. Anna moved without thinking. She gathered Eli into her arms, held him as he fought and sobbed. She hummed the lullaby the one her mother had sung, the one that had carried her through her own dark nights. Slowly, the boy's struggle eased. He curled against her chest, shaking. "I've got you," Anna whispered. "You're safe. I've got you." From across the dim room, she felt Luke watching. When she finally looked up, she saw tears on his face, silent and steady. Morning light found them that way, Eli asleep in Anna's arms. Hope pressed against her side, Luke sitting against the wall with his head in his hands. "You didn't have to do that," he said hoarsely. "Yes," Anna said. "I did." The storm broke on the 4th day. Weak sunlight filtered through the clouds. Snow began to melt from the eaves in slow drips. Luke and Anna stood on the porch, watching ice crystals catch light. "Town will expect us at Sunday service," Luke said quietly. "When the trail clears, folks will have questions." Anna's stomach tightened. "What will you tell them?" Luke was quiet for a long time. "The truth. That you're the best thing that's happened to us since," he stopped, "since we lost her. And if they don't accept that, then they can go to hell." He glanced at her, almost apologetic. Pardon the language. Anna surprised herself by laughing small and tired, but real. "I've thought worse these past 3 years." That afternoon, Eli brought her his mother's old hairbrush. "Miss Anna, will you braid Hope's hair?" Anna took the brush carefully, like it might break. "I don't know how your mama did it." "I remember," Eli said. "I'll teach you." So Anna sat with Hope between her knees while Eli showed her the pattern over. Under. Pull tight. over again. His small hands guided hers when the braid was finished. Hope ran to show her father. Luke's voice broke when he said, "That's perfect, sweetheart." Eli stood beside Anna, looking at his hands. "Mama taught me that the day before." He stopped. "Before she got sick?" Anna asked gently. The boy nodded. Anna put her arm around his thin shoulders. "Then she gave you something precious. And you gave it to me." "Thank you, Eli." They stood together while the snow melted and the world outside began to show through again. But with it came the trail. And the trail led to town. And town, Anna knew, would not be kind. The days after the storm found a rhythm. Anna woke before dawn, started the fire, made coffee. Luke worked outside repairing the roof, chopping wood, mending the corral fence. The twins helped where they could. Hope gathered kindling. Eli carried water from the creek. They moved around each other like dancers learning new steps, careful, uncertain, but trying. One evening, Luke found Anna sitting on the porch steps, the silver locket open in her palm. Her shoulders shook with silent sobs. He sat beside her, didn't speak, just sat. "I thought I'd buried him," Anna finally said. "Buried the grief with honor and moved on. But out here," she gestured at the vast sky, "the endless land, there's nowhere to hide from it." Luke nodded. "I know. Do you—" She looked at him. "Or are you hiding too?" The question hit like a fist. Luke's jaw worked. He stared at the horizon where the sun was setting, painting everything gold and red. "I married my wife because it was expected," he said. "2 neighboring ranches, families wanting to join the land. Sarah was kind. Good. We grew to love each other after. But," he stopped. "I never told her, never said the words. She died thinking I married her out of duty." "Luke, she was right." His voice cracked. "I was a coward." Anna reached over and took his hand. His skin was rough, scarred from work and weather. "Then tell your children," she said fiercely. "Tell them about her every single day. Give them what you couldn't give her." Luke looked at their joined hands. "I will." They sat in silence as stars began to appear. Hope's voice drifted from inside, singing the alphabet song Anna had taught her. "Anna," Luke's voice was soft. "What do I tell people about you, about us? I don't know." She pulled her hand back slowly. "What are we—" Luke opened his mouth, closed it. The words wouldn't come. The next afternoon, a rider appeared on the horizon. Luke tensed. "That's Clyde Harper, neighbor from 5 miles south." Clyde rode up and dismounted, weathered face, sharp eyes that took in everything. The mended fence, the patched roof. Anna standing in the doorway with flour on her hands. "Luke." Clyde nodded. "Heard you took in a stranger after the storm. Thought I'd check on you." "We're fine." "Clyde?" Luke's voice was flat. "I'm sure." Clyde's gaze slid to Anna. "Ma'am." "Sir." Anna didn't smile. Clyde looked back at Luke. "Town's talking. You know how folks are. Widow brings a woman into his house. No preacher involved." He shrugged. "People have questions." "She's family now," Luke said. Clyde's eyebrows rose. "That's so town won't see it that way? Then town can mind its own business." The 2 men stared at each other. Finally, Clyde mounted his horse, just trying to help. "Luke, but you do as you see fit." He tipped his hat to Anna. "Ma'am." He rode off. Luke stood rigid, fists clenched. Anna came up beside him. "Am I making trouble for you?" "No." Luke's voice was rough. "You're making a home. That's all that matters." "But what are we—" Anna pressed. What do I tell people? Luke turned to her. His eyes held something desperate and afraid. Tell them you're the best thing that's happened to us. But Luke, what Sunday service is in 4 days? He interrupted. Town'll all be there. We'll figure it out. He walked away before she could respond. That night, Eli brought Anna his mother's hairbrush again. Will you teach me to braid better so I can help Hope? They sat together by firelight, practicing the pattern. Anna's hands guided his small fingers over, under. Pull tight. Why are you sad? Eli asked suddenly. Anna's hands stilled. What makes you think I'm sad? You cry at night, I hear you. She looked at this solemn boy with eyes too old for his years. Sometimes grown-ups have hurts that don't go away fast, but that doesn't mean we stop trying. Papa has hurts too, Eli said. He breaks things when he's scared. What did he break? Eli's voice dropped to a whisper. Mama's grave marker. The day after she died. Then he built it again. Better. Anna's throat tightened. Your papa loves you very much. Eli. I know. The boy looked at her. Do I what? Love us? Anna pulled him close. I'm learning how... Does that count? Eli nodded against her shoulder. That counts, but outside. The trail to town was clear, and Sunday was coming. Sunday morning arrived cold and bright. Luke hitched the wagon in silence. Anna dressed the twins in their best clothes, which wasn't much. She wore her traveling dress, brushed and mended. Her hands shook as she pinned her hair. They drove to town as a unit, Luke and Anna on the bench, Hope and Eli in the wagon bed. As they rolled down Main Street toward the church, Anna felt eyes turn. Whispers followed like a wind through dry grass. Luke parked the wagon. Families stood in clusters, watching. A woman clutched her Bible tighter. A man muttered to his companion. Anna lifted her chin and took Hope's hand. Eli grabbed Luke's. They walked toward the church doors. Well, a voice said loudly, look who came to worship. Anna turned. Mrs. Whitlock stood with 3 other women, faces pinched with judgment. Good morning, Anna said evenly. Is it? Mrs. Whitlock's smile was sharp. Hard to say what's good about it. Luke stepped forward. Margaret. Don't you Margaret me, Luke Hartwell. This whole town knows what's going on out at your place. Nothing's going on, Luke said through clenched teeth. Isn't it? Mrs. Whitlock looked at Anna. What's your name? Girl Anna Brennan. And what exactly are you doing in a widower's house? Miss Brennan. Helping with his children. Anna said steadily. Oh, I'm sure that's all it is. The woman's voice dripped venom. Whoring yourself for a roof and meals. That's enough. Luke's voice cut like a blade. But Mrs. Whitlock wasn't finished. Decent women don't move into men's homes without marriage. You're setting a disgraceful example for those children. Anna felt Hope's hand tighten in hers, felt the little girl trembling. She knelt down, cupped Hope's face. Go inside with your brother, sweetheart. Find a seat up front. But go on. I'll be right there. The twins disappeared into the church. Anna stood and faced Mrs. Whitlock. I'm giving those children what they need. Anna said quietly. What would you have done? Let them freeze-starve. Because their father didn't follow your rules. I wouldn't pretend to be something I'm not. Neither am I. Anna's voice didn't waver. I'm exactly what I appear to be, someone trying to help. The church bell rang. People filed inside. Anna followed, spine straight, ignoring the stares. The sermon began. The preacher's text was from Corinthians. False families built on convenience crumble under God's scrutiny, he intoned. Marriage is covenant, not transaction. Anna felt every eye on her. After the service, the town elder, a rail-thin man named Harper, cornered Luke outside. Son, You need to define this arrangement. Luke's jaw tightened. Don't see how that's your business. It's the town's business when you're setting a poor moral example. Harper's voice was ice. Either marry the girl proper, or send her away. People were listening now, watching, waiting. Luke looked at Anna. She stood apart, holding the twins' hands, chin raised despite the shame burning in her eyes. He thought he was protecting her, thought if he made it clear there was nothing improper, the town would leave them alone. "Miss Anna is our housekeeper," Luke said loudly. "Nothing more?" The words hung in the air like smoke. Anna's face went white. Her eyes met Luke's across the crowd, and he saw it, the betrayal, the heartbreak. She turned and walked toward the wagon. Hope and Eli ran after her. "Miss Anna, wait." She knelt, pulled them close. Sometimes grown-ups make mistakes, even when they're trying to help. Luke stood frozen, watching her load the children into the wagon. The elder clapped him on the shoulder. "Good man. Now people can't talk." But they could, and they did. The ride home was silent. Anna sat in back with the twins. Luke drove, hands white-knuckled on the reins. When they reached the cabin, Anna climbed down and went straight inside. The twins followed, confused and frightened. That night, Luke heard her crying through the bedroom door. He stood outside, fist raised to knock, but shame choked him, and he walked away instead. Anna packed her carpetbag by candlelight. She'd leave in the morning. She'd been a fool to think this could work. Through the thin walls, she heard Hope whisper, "Where's Miss Anna going?" Eli's voice, small and scared, "Away. They always go away." Anna pressed her hands over her mouth to keep from sobbing aloud. Midnight found Luke sitting on the porch, head in his hands. Inside, Anna's carpetbag sat by the door, packed, ready. He'd tried to protect her and destroyed everything instead. The door creaked. Luke looked up. Eli stood in his nightshirt, bare feet on cold wood. "Papa, go back to bed." "Son, Miss Anna's leaving. I know. Don't let her—" The boy's voice cracked. "Please." Luke pulled Eli close. "I messed it up. Eli, I don't know how to fix it." Eli was quiet for a moment. "Then you fixed Mama's grave marker." Luke went still. "You broke it the day after she died." Eli said, "I saw you. You threw the marker and it smashed. Then you sat in the dirt and cried." Luke's eyes burned. "But the next day, you built a new one." Eli continued, "Better than before. With her name carved pretty and flowers planted around it." He looked up at his father. "You break things when you're scared, Papa, but you fix them too." "Eli, Miss Anna's not broken. But you hurt her, so fix it." The boy went back inside, leaving Luke alone with the truth. An hour later, Luke saddled his horse and rode south through moonlit dark. He reached the preacher's house at 2 a.m, pounded on the door until a lamp flickered to life inside. The preacher answered in his nightshirt, bleary and annoyed. "Luke Hartwell, what in the name of I lied in your church?" Luke's voice was raw. "That woman is the best thing that's happened to us since my wife died. She's braver than I'll ever be. And I stood there and called her a housekeeper because I was too much a coward to tell the truth." The preacher blinked. "What truth?" "That I, Luke, started again. That I'm falling in love with her. And I'm terrified." "So you shamed her in front of the whole town?" "Yes." The preacher sighed. "Then say it to her, son, and to God, and mean it this time." Luke rode home as dawn broke, went straight to the barn, lit every lamp, pulled out a plank of good oak and his carving tools. He worked through sunrise, through the sounds of Anna and the twins waking, through breakfast he didn't eat. By mid-morning, it was finished. He found Anna at the door, carpetbag in hand. The twins stood behind her, faces streaked with tears. Luke held out the carved wooden sign. The letters stood deep and clean, the Hartwell family. Luke, Anna, Eli and Hope. Anna stared at it, at him. "I should have made this the day you stayed," Luke said. His voice shook. "I'm sorry, Anna. I was trying to protect you, and I hurt you instead. I'm a coward and a fool, and you deserve better. But, Luke, if you'll stay, I swear I'll spend every day proving you didn't make a mistake." He took her hand, rough fingers wrapping around hers. "I mean it. Anna. Your family. He swallowed hard. "You're everything." Anna's eyes filled with tears. "You hurt me. I know. You made me feel small in front of all those people. I know." His voice cracked. "I'm sorry." She looked at the sign, at the twins watching with desperate hope, at this broken, honest man in front of her. "I'm not leaving," she said. "But you have to mean it. Luke, all of it. No more hiding. I mean it." He squeezed her hand. "I swear to God, I mean it." Hope ran forward and wrapped her arms around both of them. Eli followed, pressing his face against Anna's side. "You're staying," Hope whispered. Anna knelt and pulled them close. "Yes, sweetheart. Forever." Luke hung the sign above the cabin door while they watched. The letters caught the morning sun, declaring to anyone who passed here lives a family. But as he stepped back, a rider appeared on the horizon. 3 riders, actually, coming fast. Luke's hand went to the rifle by the door. "Stay inside," he told Anna, "no matter what happens." "Luke, please." The riders drew closer. Luke recognized the town marshal's badge, and his stomach dropped. Whatever came next, they'd face it together. The sign above the door said so. The marshal reined up in front of the cabin. 2 men flanked him, Town Elder Harper and Clyde, the neighbor who'd warned Luke weeks ago. Luke stepped onto the porch, rifle in hand but pointed at the ground. "Marshal." Luke. Marshal Hayes was a fair man, weathered and tired. "Got a complaint filed about this household. Need to ask some questions." "What kind of complaint?" Elder Harper spoke up, voice sharp. "Moral fitness. Those children need proper guardians, and this situation is irregular." Anna appeared in the doorway, the twins behind her. "Ma'am," the marshal said, respectful. "Need to speak with you as well." "Then speak," Anna said evenly. "Mind if I look around first? Just need to see the children are being cared for proper." Luke nodded, jaw tight. The marshal dismounted and walked through the cabin. He saw the clean-swept floors, the mended clothes, the well-stocked shelves. He knelt and spoke quietly to Hope and Eli. "You being treated well?" "Yes, sir." Hope said, "Miss Anna takes care of us." "Your papa treat her right." Eli nodded solemnly. He made her a sign. "With all our names." The marshal's mouth twitched. "Did he now?" He came back outside. "Children are healthy and happy. House is proper. Don't see any neglect." "That's not the point," Harper insisted. "These 2 aren't married. State law says children need safe homes." The marshal interrupted. "Which they have. But the moral implications are between them and God, I reckon." The marshal looked at Anna. "Ma'am, I have to ask, are you here willingly? Any coercion or force?" Anna stepped fully outside. "Marshal, I came here because those children needed someone when the world turned away. Because their father is the most honorable man I've met. If loving this family is illegal, then your law is wrong, not us." Silence fell across the yard. Then Clyde Harper spoke. "She's right. Everyone turned. Clyde shifted in his saddle, uncomfortable. "I've been watching them through winter," he said. "My wife sent me to spy. If I'm honest, but what I saw," he looked at Luke, "that's a family. My wife and I married for convenience 30 years back. Land arrangement. Same as you and Sarah. Best decision we ever made. These people are building the same thing. Leave them be." Murmurs from the small crowd that had followed from town. Marshal Hayes closed his notebook. "I see no crime here. No neglect. These children are loved and cared for. That's all that matters." "But," Harper sputtered, "I said good day, Elder." The marshal's voice went hard. Harper glared at Luke, then wheeled his horse around and rode off. The marshal tipped his hat. "Ma'am, Luke, you've got a good thing here. Protect it." As the riders left, Luke turned to Anna. Hope and Eli pressed against her legs. "Anna Brennan," Luke said, voice carrying across the yard. "Will you marry me not for them, not for the law, for us?" Anna's breath caught. "Luke, I know it's sudden. I know we've barely—" He stopped. "But I also know that I want to spend every day of my life proving you made the right choice when you stepped off that train." The watching townspeople held their breath. Anna smiled through tears. "Ask me again when spring comes. Luke, if you still mean it then, I'll say yes. I'll mean it every day till then." Hope tugged Anna's skirt. "Does that mean you're really staying forever?" Anna knelt and pulled her close. "Yes, sweetheart. Forever." The crowd dispersed, some grumbling, others smiling. Clyde's wife rode up in a wagon with a basket of food. "Heard there might be a wedding come spring," she said to Anna. "Thought you could use help with preparations." Anna took the basket. Voice thick. "Thank you." That evening, Luke hung the family sign above the door while the twins watched from the porch and Anna stood beside him. "Spring can't come fast enough," he said quietly. She took his hand. "We've got time to build it right." The sign caught the last rays of sunset, letters gleaming. A declaration to the world: here lives a family, hard-earned and unbreakable. Spring arrived in waves of green and gold. Luke woke Anna before dawn on a morning in early April. "Come see something." She followed him outside, barefoot in the cool grass. He led her to the garden behind the cabin, the one they'd planted together, the one that was starting to bloom. 2 carved stones stood among the wildflowers. Anna knelt, read the names Mary Hartwell, beloved wife and mother, and James Brennan, honored soldier. "They brought us here," Luke said quietly. "We carry them forward, but we build for us now." Anna touched both stones, whispered prayers for the dead who'd made way for the living. Luke knelt beside her. "Anna Brennan, will you marry me and make this family whole?" She turned to him, tears on her cheeks. "Yes, Luke Hartwell, with all my heart." They were married a week later at the cabin. The preacher came, humble now. Townspeople attended Clyde and his wife, others who'd softened over winter. Mrs. Whitlock stayed away, but her absence was a gift. Hope and Eli stood as witnesses, dressed in clothes Anna had sewn from cloth the community had donated. The preacher asked, "Who gives this woman?" Eli stepped forward, small hand in Hope's. "We do. Me and Hope, because she gave us everything first." Anna's voice broke during her vows. Luke's hands shook as he slipped a simple gold band on her finger, melted down from his mother's ring, remade into something new. They kissed as husband and wife while the twins cheered and Clyde's wife wept into her handkerchief. The weeks after were filled with simple joys. Anna taught the children under the oak tree that shaded the garden. Luke built furniture for the cabin, a rocking chair, a bookshelf, a toy chest. They had family meals with laughter instead of silence. Evening prayers where small hands joined big ones. One Sunday evening, as they sat for grace, Eli's voice rang clear, "Thank you, God, For Mama. Anna looked up, startled. The boy met her eyes. Your Mama now. Is that okay? She pulled him close, crying. Yes, sweetheart. That's more than okay. Luke squeezed her hand across the table. Hope giggled. The prayer continued, but something had shifted, something final and forever. That night. Luke and Anna stood on the porch watching fireflies rise from the grass. Think we'll make it? She asked quietly. Luke pulled her close. I think we already did. How do you figure because we chose each other? He said, every day, even when it was hard, especially when it was hard. That's what makes a family. Not blood, not laws. Choice. Anna leaned her head against his shoulder. The West doesn't make anything easy. No. Luke smiled. But it makes everything worth it. Inside. The twins slept soundly in their beds, full bellies, clean clothes, hearts full of love and safety. Above the door, the family sign hung steady, letters gleaming in moonlight. Spring had come. The cabin was finished. The garden bloomed. And in a small house on the edge of the frontier, 4 people who'd been broken by loss discovered they could build something unbreakable together. Anna whispered into the dark, "Thank you." Luke didn't ask for what. He knew. For second chances. For courage. For the hard winter that had taught them how to be strong. For the child who'd said yes at a train station when every sensible bone in her body said run. Out here, Luke murmured. Family isn't who you're born to. It's who you'd build a life beside. Nail by nail, storm by storm. Anna smiled. And who'd stand with you when the whole town's watching? Especially then. They stood together under the stars until the fireflies faded and the night grew cold. Then they went inside to the home they'd built, to the children they'd saved, to the love they'd earned the hard way. The best way. The only way that lasts. The end.